Hi, it's Layle Koncar with Carpe Diem. You guys, I'm back. We're talking all things traveler's notebooks. There are so many different things that we can do with traveler's notebooks. I think the easiest way for me to explain is to show you guys. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a look at a whole bunch of different samples. My husband and I are actually in the process of building a new house. We are almost empty nesters and we are downsizing. So if you've ever built a new house before, it is a huge undertaking. There's so much that you have to kind of remember. And so that is what I'm using this particular traveler's notebook for. This is my brain when it comes to that project. And I have different inserts in there. The different inserts all serve a different purpose. But in the pockets, my pockets are decorative, but I also have different business cards, the lighting people, the appliance people, and so forth. So I'm using those pockets as a purely functional in that perspective. So I've got those business cards there when I need them. But then as we start to move into the different notebooks, this notebook is literally my brain dump. These are all the things I needed to remember to ask questions about, things to consider, and it's not pretty, right? I mean, these are chicken scratches. I've used different color pens. I've kind of done some scratching or, drawing out of different things. So not everything you do in a traveler's notebook has to be pretty. Really can just be purely functional. And you'll see it just keeps going on and on. But the nice thing is I have that there with me. So when anything to do with the house, it's there. Next, I have another book that, for example, here has measurements. These are measurements of areas in our current house and the new house. So I can kind of start to visualize spacing and how things are going to work. I'm also tracking the different projects that we need to do at our current house before we can put it on the market. Then this last one really is just a whole bunch of different things. These are different areas of the house that I need to purge. Now, you see, I've kind of decorated here. And for me, one of the neat things about traveler's notebooks is that they give me a really small canvas that I can get creative in every day. So I may not have an hour or two to sit down and work on a scrapbook project, but I can take 5 minutes before I make a list and I can add a few die cuts and washi and then I can actually get to work. Then I've included some of the floor plans, different things, just so I have little snapshots of those in my traveler's notebook. So there's a really good example. But now we're gonna take a look at really dig into a lot of the different things that you can use them for now that you kind of have a good broad understanding of what we're taking a look at. So this particular traveler's notebook I put together, it was actually part of a class that I taught, but it really goes through all of the different, well, I shouldn't say all, because they can really be used for so many different things, but a lot of the different things that you can use a traveler's notebook for. So as we start out, memory keeping. A lot of us are scrapbookers and have been scrapbookers for a really long time. So just a smaller canvas for memory keeping here. I've added a couple of photos, done a little bit of journaling. Favorite quotes. I love quotes, and I have Pinterest board after Pinterest board of quotes that I've saved, but really, I don't really see them there, so I don't really get inspired by them. So I can have a traveler's notebook that just has the different quotes, some of my favorite quotes in it. Diary. You could use your traveler's notebook as a journal or as a diary, and that's kind of what we're seeing here on the different days of the week and just really small snippets of what happened. Calendar. So some traveler's notebooks, the inserts are calendars. We'll have some of those coming out in 2018, but I have made a calendar here, just a combination of a days of the week stamp, and then I kind of have the things I need to do. So using a traveler's notebook as a calendar. A habit tracker. This kind of falls in the line of bullet journaling. You may have heard of bullet journaling. So with this habit tracker, I've just listed some things, some habits that I would like to establish for myself, and then I can track. So here maybe I've put, I want to make sure I drink 64 ounces of water a day. I just built a really simple grid with a ruler, and then I can put little dots on the days that I actually did that habit. Maybe I want to make sure I floss my teeth every day. That's a hard one for me. So keeping track in your traveler's notebooks of things like this, habits that you want to establish. This one seems kind of obvious, but this would be travel. I could use my traveler's notebook as a travel journal, and that's originally kind of how traveler's notebooks were started years ago, as a type of travel journal. So here I've included some mementos from a trip. That is the boarding pass for the airlines. I cut up some different paraphernalia, pamphlets and things from the hotel. In this case, I just washi in a postcard and then used the back of the postcard for some journaling. Lists, like I mentioned, I'm a huge list maker. So your lists can be functional, but they can also be fun. So here's a list of places that I want to visit. Things I'm thankful or blessed for, best things about being a mom. So just kind of some fun lists. This one, my bucket list. So here are some things on my bucket list, and I actually went to Google and found photos of some of those things that I'd like to do on my bucket list. So having fun lists is one option, but then also you're functional. So here are just a couple examples of different to-do lists. If I have all my to-do lists together in one book, then it's a lot harder for me to find that scrap of paper or the back of a receipt that I may have scrawled one of my to-do lists on. A little bit more memory keeping. So I think having this nice smaller format for memory keeping, at least for me, makes it super easy. It's not as intimidating as sometimes a big 12 by 12 canvas. So just popped in a few photos, a little bit of journaling. Quotes. I have included some quotes, but then also a lot of us have 3x4 cards. And 3x4 cards, a lot of times you have great quotes. So if you have a 3x4 card that has a nice quote on it that you want to remember, I've just added that directly to my, my traveler's notebook. And then I actually have a little bit of journaling there about that quote and what it means to me. So couple more uses. I made a calendar here, as I mentioned. There are some inserts that are available that are actual calendars, but here I just quickly made a calendar for the month and I can add whatever I need there. Okay, couple more things we want to talk about uses for traveler's notebooks. And I think both of these are super fun. These two right here happen to be, these belong to Scrapbook.com. And I think this is such a fabulous idea. When they have an individual like myself, you come in and you film, they take a picture of you while you're here, and they actually have you add your photo and a little bit of, write a little note or something about kind of your visit. So I think this is a great thing to do. If you think about maybe you have a family reunion or you have a baby shower, a bridal shower, wouldn't it be really fun to take a little camera, take pictures on the spot, hand them to people, and then have them kind of write a little note to the bride and groom if it's a wedding, or advice to a brand new mom, what have you. So last example that I want to show you is something that is super fun. We have people that use these as wallets. So if you think about the design that we've looked at with the pockets on the side, right? So here you have a driver's license, you have an insurance card, you have a drink card, maybe credit cards. On the side, you have a place to slide in your money, receipts maybe, and then you're using your inserts like we've talked about many of the things that different uses, but then even on the back side, there is a pocket that you could actually slide your cell phone in. So that could be a wallet for you. And not only do you have your wallet, but then you also have all the benefits of using those traveler's notebook inserts that we talked about as well. So lots of different examples on things that you can do with the traveler's notebook. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video and want to see more from Scrapbook.com, please like, share, subscribe, and leave a message. Happy crafting!